You can't start a grab bag without Buffalo Cash. We're going to try to grab some Buffalo Cash and then jump around, play some Lightning Link perhaps. Hey, we'll see how the mood strikes us. But today we're trying to book a win. That's the objective. Let's get going.
Buffalo Cash. Put 1,000 into the machine today. Wow. Well, we needed one more. And our $10 bet.
Why does it always get the first spin start like that?
It really does. Seems like more often than not.
More often, yeah, you get that tease
You're
spin.
the one away from the bonus.
Yeah. Yeah, Buffalo Cash, if you're not familiar, you need 8 of those money buffalo that's up in the corner, or 3 of those gold coins that we're just showing 2 of right there. Buffalo is a very fun game. You know, we used to not be big fans of this.
Yeah, and we've come around.
It's really come around. Yeah, we've enjoyed Buffalo a lot. So today we figured we'd jump in and just play some random slots that are some of the favorites that people like to watch on the channel.
See what calls to us as we roam.
Yeah, we know that Lightning Link is one that people like. Even the classic Lightning Links.
Yeah.
Still very popular.
Yeah. They're always really busy here. We're at Peppermill, and they're always real busy here on those Lightning Links. It's hard to get on them at times.
And then this is the only Buffalo Cash machine they have. They don't have Buffalo Link. This is the only one.
And the one and only.
In their high limit room.
Unless there is one tucked away somewhere else that we haven't seen. But we've been all over this place.
Oh. Once again, we just missed it.
Yeah. Come on, coins.
We've got a couple of sodas coming to hydrate here on some waters.
Need our little caffeine boost.
Caffeine and water.
Uh-huh.
Always get dried out coming out. You know, and Reno's a different climate than Las Vegas, of course, but it's still drier.
Yeah. I think it's just the constant air flowing and environment.
In the AC, my voice tends to get a little raspy, so sorry about that.
Yeah, you have hit your raspy state.
Yeah, I've kind of hit it today.
In our trip.
Well, I'd like to get raspy from yelling because we've got a big bonus.
Right?
We're almost through half the cash here. Oh, Buffalo started out big there and then went away. There we go.
We got a 200, 150.
And 150.
Look at that.
And a 50. That's
2 50s on there.
2 50s. Yes, this is
that's good variety there.
See, we needed a bonus break.
Love it. Let's collect that $1,000 minor or that major of 2,700. Want words to drop in.
Yeah, I haven't panned up yet and shown the bonuses.
Well,
come on, right here.
Come on, need something. Ooh, that was really short-lived.
It was short-lived.
Hey, that's good. Got some good amounts on there at least. Buffalo! Nice.
Actually,
not too shabby.
Makes us profitable.
Yeah.
Yeah, $540. We're up $200.
I like it. 50x on that.
Yeah, that was good. We'll tuck half that aside.
Yeah, hopefully we can get the coins now.
Yeah, the counter is low, so somebody's recently hit that.
Yep. Which we know, doesn't mean it can't hit early again. We've had good luck when the number is low. Come on, coin. Of getting it to randomly trigger again.
Thought you were going to hit those coins there.
I did too.
I had to reach for the water here because I was just choking.
All right, one more bonus before we move to something else would be great.
Yeah, let's try to get it before we hit our 1,000.
Yeah. That's the plan here.
It's always the plan. Take the money, parlay it.
That's right.
So, I mean, that was, how much was that bonus?
$540.
$540. So
Yeah.
we'd set aside $260 of that, $270 of that.
Yeah.
You need to get the coins here.
I know. I mean, another hold and spin would be fine too.
So we're fooling around playing a little blackjack last night. And one of the things that I don't think many people know, if you're new to the channel, welcome. Thank you for watching. But I used to deal blackjack back in the day.
You did. Back before we met.
Yes, way back in the day.
So it's been a long time.
I actually worked at a casino. A lot of our Pacific Northwest watchers would be familiar with. Chinook Winds on the Oregon coast.
Uh-huh.
And I dealt blackjack plus a few of the other carnival games there. You know, and the funny thing is like Texas Hold'em wasn't around then. Oh, well.
Bonus break time.
Continue this after a bonus. Wait, we weren't far off the 1,000 mark.
Yeah, that's good.
Let's hope it's a good coin box.
Yeah, a lot of retriggers. Coin.
Ooh, a lot of help.
Yeah. Well, we need a lot of the wilds and buffalo. Would be good.
Holden's going to be nice too. Coin.
Coin, come on. No. Oh, they're good.
Oh, wow. That was kind of surprising right there.
Yeah, it was surprising.
Oh.
Where was the middle one?
Yeah, where is the middle and the end one?
Jeez.
Still have 2 spins left.
Okay, well, let's get some more coins.
Oh.
Coin, coin, coin. Oh, man. That was crummy.
Yeah, that was not the ideal bonus.
Not at all.
Oh, I thought it was going to give us the
Yeah. After that bonus, we should have gotten it. See, we needed that in the bonus.
That would have been huge in the bonus.
Yeah. Gosh.
But as I was saying, I used to deal blackjack, and so when we were playing blackjack last night, I was talking to the floor, asking them, what are the most legendary runs they've ever seen someone have? And we're talking about different people like buying in for just a few $100s and running it up to a crazy
thousands.
amount. Yeah. So I was telling one of the floors a story about a gentleman that came into the casino with just, I think, like $500. Oh.
Wow.
Where was that in the bonus?
Yeah.
And he had started out betting, I think, just like $15, $20. Then he bumped it up to $25 to $50. And then he was starting to bet $100 a hand. Well, he just, when I got to my shift, and I was working as a dual rate where you dealt some nights and other nights you were on the floor as a pit boss. And I was told that he came in with about $500, and when I saw him, he had like $2,000 or $3,000 in front of him. By the time we were about 6 hours into my shift, he had run that up to over $10,000.
That's just crazy.
That is a legendary type of blackjack.
Oh, absolutely.
Especially for that duration of time. And he would dip down, like he'd get up to 4. Oh, come on. Get up like, I remember 4,000, then he'd drop back down to 2, and then he'd go on another run and get up to 6, then he'd lose 1,000 or something like that. But when I walked over to the table, I think he was at something like 12.5. It was something crazy. And I told him, I said, you should pick up your money and leave.
Yeah.
And he thought I was like, oh, well, you're just trying to get me to quit because I'm on a streak. And I said, no, I'm trying to get you to quit so that you keep the money.
Yeah, so you go home with, because this doesn't last forever, that kind of run.
No, I was very clear with him. I said,
yeah,
runs like this don't happen.
Yeah.
If ever in anyone's lifetime. Take your money and run. Speaking of which, we'll play to 500 and then move on. And I started chatting with him, asking him where he was from and stuff, and he's a really nice guy. And I said, I'd just love to see you walk away with that money. It doesn't affect my paycheck.
Yeah.
I don't make a commission.
Coin.
Come on, coin.
Dang it.
If you win or lose, it doesn't matter to me. Well, he was still there at the end of my shift. And he did not leave.
Oh.
I was told on the next shift that he ended up giving it all back.
Yeah.
And then some. There we go.
Wow. All minimums.
All little ones. But we just need to fill the screen.
Yeah, we do. Just filled up for $214,000.
I need to pan up here and show that. $214,000 grand, $2,700 major, $1,000 minor.
A major would be pretty fantastic to have that drop in.
All right. Go ahead and
ready?
spin.
Ready for the major? I'm ready. Come on, words.
Take that minor for a word.
Yeah.
I'm not seeing any of them flash, though.
Yeah, I haven't seen any words flash.
You fill the whole thing with $10.
That's fine with me. I will not complain. Come on. All right, need something here. Keep it going. Ah, darn it.
Well, I can do the math on that. That was 17 times their bet.
Good job, hun. Good mathin'. Do you still want to take it to 500 or
Oh, we'll bump that up to
600?
Yeah.
See if we can get another one. And
oh, I thought we were going to get coins there. How about here?
yeah, another coins would be good.
It was really kind of a sad story because I mean, here you've got this wildly successful thing that you could tell friends about for years to come.
Oh, for sure.
I went in and I won all this money. And it was just, his whole table was having a great time. He was, and you didn't get free drinks. And he was at our casino because at the time there was all these rules about.
Yeah, at the tribal casino, you can't.
You couldn't. Well, and you couldn't actually drink at the tables. You had to go up to a bar. And so
even more restrictive.
It was interesting, though, that, he'd take a break, go out. Oh, there's a lot of queens. Have a cocktail. He'd buy a cocktail for somebody or something like that. And he just continued to give it all back.
That's sad.
It was so sad.
Yeah,
and
have that much money.
Somebody said that they actually saw him hitchhiking the next day or something. Oh.
Not enough for another, I think. Oh, yeah. Two more.
Two more. 2.5 more. Oh, now we got our other half.
We got the buffalo.
No,
Not quite.
Well, I'll do one more.
Okay.
Nope. Let's move to another machine. High stakes lightning link. We loaded our $508 ticket from Buffalo, betting $10. If you're not familiar with this game, you need 6 of those poker chips or 3 of the gold briefcases. gold briefcases are the free spins.
Hopefully we can demonstrate it real quick.
Yeah, that would be nice, wouldn't it?
Just a bunch of wilds would be great.
Yeah, the Las Vegas sign is wild there. I'll pan up here real quick and we'll get our look at our $101,000 grand. I'd take that.
Yeah. I wonder what that resets to. If it's 100,000 somebody recently hit, or
major of 5,000. And we've got that minor of a 500, and then your mini. Your mini.
The
mini.
That's a good major though.
That is a big major.
That's up there, so.
And I have no idea what that resets to.
I think that's loud. I think 2,500.
Huh. Well, let's
just collect it, and then we'll know.
Exactly.
And we'll know what it resets to.
It's the best way to do it, right?
Right. It's the only way to be sure.
As I was talking about the casino legendary run stories.
Yeah.
So I dealt to one of a player who had wasn't a legendary run like the other guy had.
Yeah, but still a good one.
But it was a good one. I mean, it was funny. I didn't deal to him the entire time, but he was, there's a lot of ones. He was like a long haul trucker or something, just passing through. All right. And he sat down. I think he came into the casino with just a couple $100, and he just started betting quarters right off the bat, because I think he was like, I got $200. I'm gonna see if I can do something with it. And he just went off. And I remember I came back from my break, and if you're unfamiliar with how the whole break system works, is when you're a blackjack dealer, you get a break about every 42 minutes to an hour and 20 minutes, depending on how many dealers are on, but it's a 20-minute stint in 20-minute increments, I should say.
Okay.
So I'd come back from my 20-minute break, and the pit boss had said, you need to step in and tap out the table, but it wasn't my typical rotation table.
Oh.
And the dealer was a little green still. And I was one of the better blackjack dealers, and so the pit boss says, go in there and you can take, briefcase. You need to take that guy's money. Because he was kind of one of the ones that sweated the money.
Yeah.
And trust me when I say this, blackjack dealers don't want you to lose.
No.
They don't. They love to see players win. And they would much prefer dealing to winning players than losing
to happy
players.
people than grumpy people.
Exactly. But this pit boss was kind of old school, and he was kind of, sweating the money, as they call it. Mm-hmm. So I step in, and this gentleman just, he couldn't do anything wrong.
Yeah, no matter what he did, he would win.
He was winning. Briefcase, come on.
Oh, wow.
Trying to get that bonus is just... Between Buffalo and this, the struggle has been real with REEL. But it was funny because I ended up giving him in I think 40 minutes, he tapped out a little bit early too, I think, as well. I think that we were running hours, and he moved me to another table to relieve another dealer.
Oh.
But it was funny because by the time I was done dealing to him, he'd won a couple grand.
Nice.
And I guess at one point he was up to like $6,000.
There
we go.
Oh, the fourth one just slipped by.
I know.
Hey, I was happy to see the 3 there. Very nice. Finally got a bonus break here.
Well, hopefully we can run this up to a legendary run.
Yeah, let's get the bonus and the bonus. We want that hold and spin.
Well, that wasn't nothing. Let's get a briefcase and center more spins.
Yeah.
That was nothing.
Oh, gosh.
Just some 10s there.
Not much of anything.
We need spin 5 and 6 to be huge.
Yeah, we do.
There we go. Wild. Still only 4 of a kind.
Yeah. Need
a lot of
briefcase or poker chip on our last spin here.
Yeah, we're over $100 now. Oh.
Yeah, that was a little lackluster.
Hey, we started out with what, 500?
5, yeah.
So
broke the seal. Maybe we'll get that home spin now.
Broke the seal. That's a good way to say it. We ripped off the Band-Aid. It was just funny because you would see so many different people come in and do crazy things at the blackjack table. You just shake your head and go, there's a reason why you're,
that's a lot of wilds.
If that briefcase wouldn't have been there.
Yeah, kind of blocked a pay line there, but
that's $140.
Nice. That was better than our bonus.
But I'd see people do some crazy things at the blackjack table. And that's the other thing we were talking about last night.
All the
dumb things that people would do.
Yeah.
Splitting tens.
I think that's the biggest one.
Oh.
Bummer.
I'd always say, if you're happily married, would you get a divorce? And they're like, no. And I said, well, you just got a divorce because those two cards were happily married and you split them up.
Those two tens were perfectly happy together.
Perfectly happy together. They were madly in love. And you wanted to split them. And inevitably, those hands would go wrong. Well, and we had one hand last night that was pretty crazy.
Oh, gosh.
$20 bet. Or no, $50 bet.
Yep.
I'm sorry, $50 bet. And I got 2 sevens against a 6-up.
Yep.
I split the sevens, got another 7. Split them again. And got another 7. The max amount is 4 cards.
Yep. So you had 4 out there. So now you got $200 out there.
The very first card I get on the first 7 is, I think, a 4 or a 3.
It was a deuce.
A deuce, a 9. So I doubled it.
And the second one.
The second one was a 3. So it was a 10. I doubled that. And then the last 2, I just got 10s on.
Yeah.
So it was a total of $300 on one hand. And I ended up, the dealer broke.
Yeah, but she turned over a small card.
Oh,
so she had 2 small cards. And it was like, oh no. And then pulled another small card and then the 10. So
yeah, it looked disastrous.
Yeah.
Kind of like
pretty exciting.
This session has been for us.
Yeah, this has kind of been a disaster, hasn't it?
It has.
We need a big bonus to recover.
We haven't gotten poker chips once yet.
No.
I'm really surprised.
Getting like a lot of the wilds showing up, you know? That's the only thing that's keeping us going.
Yeah, like that's $48 right there. And then the one briefcase bonus, which was
was lackluster.
Way too brief.
Yeah, definitely.
But I will say this: if you go into the casino and you're playing blackjack, be nice to the dealers. They're just doing their job. They have no control over the cards.
Yeah, it's not their fault when the cards don't fall right.
Yeah, they're just there basically as the mechanism to deliver them.
Yeah, they're there to facilitate your gambling entertainment.
Exactly. And as a dealer, you don't make a lot of money.
Yeah, you're working for those tips.
It's the tips that really do it.
And if you're not winning, you're not tipping. Generally how it goes.
That's the thing. That's why dealers want you to win.
Yeah.
It's the only way that they can make a living is off those tips.
Getting down to the wire here, hen.
It is. No, come on, hit.
Oh, that would have been a great recovery right there. Wow.
That was heartbreaking. Well,
dang.
Can we get lucky on a bolt spin?
Nope. Well, Buffalo Cash left us cashless.
Cashless again.
High stakes was low stakes.
Low stakes return.
Not much more I can say about that. We tried.
Yep. one of those days that we just couldn't get bonuses.
Hey, yeah, one of those days. They happen. That's gambling for you. That's slot machines. It happens. But, if you like watching us, please give that like and subscribe. It helps us out. We appreciate it a lot. And we'll come back and see you tomorrow.